Coming up, preserving labor history one item at a time, and a conservation group many union members are a part of. We'll learn about the Union Sportsmans Alliance. Activate Live starts now.
Activate your voice. Activa tu voz. Activate now.
Speak up, speak out.
Get involved, get involved.
Engage-toi.
Take action.
Aktiviere deine Stimme.
We're union and we're proud.
Welcome. I'm Tanya Hutchins with the Machinist Union, coming to you live from our headquarters in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Information on labor history preservation and outdoor conservation just ahead. But first, tonight is your last chance to register for the IAM's presidential endorsement process. You have until 11:59 Eastern Time. So if you haven't already, go to IAM2020.org. Our new endorsement process gives you the chance to help decide who the IAM endorses for President of the United States. Starting a week from today, IAM members will vote online. Ballots will be open March 4th at 8 a.m. until March 6th at 8 a.m. That's 48 hours. Each registered member in good standing will receive an email with a link to cast your online ballot. Please add the following address: invitations@mail.electionbuddy.com. That's invitations@mail.electionbuddy.com. Add that to your contact or safe sender list to ensure that you receive your online ballot. The subject of the email will be Vote Now, IAM 2020 U.S. Presidential Endorsement Election. Remember, you have to register before midnight tonight. Well, the nonprofit organization Fair Trade USA recently awarded Fair Trade certification to Lobster 207 in Maine. That means the co-op can now sell lobsters with the Fair Trade seal, which requires rigorous standards for environmental stewardship, social responsibility, and fair labor standards. Congratulations to Lobster 207, the only union-based lobster cooperative in North America, and the only lobster group in the world to earn the designation. The Machinist Union was founded in Atlanta, Georgia in 1888 when 19 machinists met in a locomotive pit to form a trade union. They earned just 20 to 25 cents per hour for a 10-hour day. That may be the beginning of our union story, but it's certainly not the end. To help us discuss how important it is to fill in the middle and then some is Lisa Vallon, the Southern Labor Archivist at Georgia State University, and she joins us now from campus. Hey there, Lisa.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, first tell us, when did Georgia State begin to build the Southern Labor Archives?
Sure. We were established in 1971, so in 2021 we'll be celebrating our 50th anniversary. We collect records from the labor movement here in the South. We received our first machinist collection in 1972, so a year after we opened. And we became your official repository in 1992. And so that means we'll go all over and collect records from wherever in the United States and Canada.
So we have a wonderful relationship with you. What are some of the types of items that you collect?
Sure. So we collect a wide variety of material. It kind of depends on the collection, but we will collect annual budgets or union reports, correspondence, bylaws, constitutions or charters, conference proceedings, meeting minutes, contracts or contract negotiations, grievances or arbitration files, directors and officer files, events, program union activities, elections, legislative information, strike and organizing material, photographs, as well as audio and visual material, and then artifacts. So we'll basically collect anything that reflects the work that the union was doing. We generally don't accept routine financial documents or routine office management items like time cards or information widely available elsewhere, like books. But yeah.
Now, what is one of your favorite items that you've come across?
So I have, we have a collection from Machinist Local 37 in New Orleans. And so it's a strike sign against Gulf Engineering. And I really like to use it when I'm teaching, especially with undergraduates, because it shows that what we have in the archive, it's not just something that's new and pristine. These are items that were used. They have a history with them. And so I really like this strike sign because it shows it's weathered, it was used, and it really helps them relate to the material.
Remind us why it's so important that we document our history.
Sure. So documenting history preserves it for future generations. And we're not talking about in a decade or 2 decades. I'm talking about in 50 years, 100 years, 200 years. It's so important to document the work that was done and why it was done so that when looking back, we know everything that we've been through.
If someone wants to donate to the collection, or if a local or district or a Grand Lodge would like to donate to the collection, how do they do that?
Sure. So the first step is just to contact me. And then I'm going to ask a couple of questions. I'm going to ask about the types of materials that you have and the amount. If it's a small amount, I'm just going to have you pack it up and ship it to me, and I'll walk you through that process and where to send it. But if it's a larger amount, closer to like over 10 boxes, I'll come out and I'll do an inventory and I'll pack and ship it back to campus here. And so once we get it back here, we'll process and make it available to the public. Also, when I do site visits to pack and move, I'll also do oral histories with some of the members so that we can collect your stories. I think it's really powerful when we hear someone's story in their own voice.
So how can the public access these collections? I understand you have something called archive space.
Yeah, so archive space is our repository for finding aids. Finding aids are a document that acts as inventories, and it describes what's in the collection and how to access it. And so we have up here is the home screen for archive space. And so in that search bar towards the middle top of the page, you just type in your search term. So one could be machinist, and it'll pull up all the collections related to that. So we have over 60 collections related to the machinists, over 900 linear feet of material. And so it'll be a really great starting point for the researcher or you, the community, to figure out what they want to look at and where to start.
Now, there's also the digital collections, which are separate. Tell us about those.
Yes, so our digital collections are here available online. And so we've gone through some of our collections and we've digitized portions of it across all of our collecting areas. We have 8 collecting areas in Georgia State, and Southern Labor Archives is one of them. And so for the machinists, we have 4 different collections. The first is the IAM archives. And so this contains a wide variety of materials that documents the history of the union. So it has audit reports, general secretary treasurer reports. And then one of my favorite items is the cipher code, which is from, I think, 1905. So in there, we have a lot of really unique items that talk about the history of the machinist. It has over 1,000 items in this collection.
Now, we know that I'm sorry, keep going.
Oh, no, go ahead.
We know that we are an international union, so we have a lot of Canadian members who are bilingual. Tell us a little bit about the IAM Canadian digital collection.
Yeah, so we have our own digital collection for them. So it has items both in English and French, over 1,500 items, both textual and photographs. So we have the IAM journal in French, as well as newsletters and journals from locals, such as this one, the Fighting 99, which is from Local Lodge 99.
Now, you mentioned oral histories earlier. It sounds like you've really talked to a lot of members about their life histories. How is that going?
It's going really well. So we have over 55 oral histories done and available online. And so what we do is we do a life history. So we start at birth, and then we work our way into how they got involved in unions, what their experience was, and what they're doing now. So it really gives people a chance to tell their stories, and it's really impactful and really great for our students and researchers.
And you have two other collections for the machinist, is that right?
Yes, we do. So we have our IAM publications from the district and local lodges. It has over 3,000 items, and it's newspapers and newsletters from various local and district lodges, like the one we have up on the screen, which is Trade Winds from Local Lodge 1781.
And then
we have,
go ahead.
oh, we have our second publication collection, which is from the Grand Lodge, which has our Machinist Monthly Journal collection. We have digitized almost a complete run of the Machinist Monthly Journal and the Machinist newspaper. And this collection has over 2,500 items. And it's a really great resource when you are looking for items or information about the union.
I love looking through those old journals because even the way they spoke and wrote was so different from the way we write now.
It is, and the stories that they tell and the struggles that they've overcome are just make a really great read.
So how did you get into this type of work?
Sure. So in undergrad, I was a research assistant for a professor, and I really enjoyed finding the answer to something and then not having to write a 20-page paper about it. So then I also did an internship at the National Archives in Chicago and decided this is what I wanted to do. So I got my Master's of Science in Library and Information Sciences from the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, where I also got a certificate in Special Collections and Archives.
So this is really a passion for you.
It is. I really enjoy being able to help people find information to access the information they need to answer their question. And I also think it's really important that we are preserving people's voices and their stories in a way that's accessible for researchers and the community as well as future generations.
Now the IAM has a local lodge history project. What do you think of that and how are you involved?
So we have it every other year. So our next one is going to be in 2021, and it's a week-long training where we cover topics such as how to organize a history project, how to do oral histories, and how to manage and preserve your local lodge records. So I really encourage people to sign up. It's so important to preserve your history, and this is a great way to learn how to do that.
This is a convention year for us, and I know you have lots of information about previous conventions, don't you?
Yes, we do. We have all the convention proceedings.
Will you be there this year?
I will. This is going to be my first convention, so I'm really looking forward to meeting all of you and being there if you have any questions or if I can help in any way.
That's great. So if you would like to meet Lisa Vallon from Georgia State University, we're going to put the contact and how to contact Georgia State in the comments later on, but you'll be able to meet her and ask questions in person. So we're really looking forward to that. And is there anything else you'd like to mention, Lisa?
Just if you are about to move, someone's going to retire, or closing an office, please think about sending your records to us here at Georgia State. That's what we're here for. We really want to preserve your history.
And there you have some of the contact information right there. Again, we will post it in comments after the show is over, and you'll have it if you're watching the replay. Lisa Vallon, thank you so much for joining us. This was great. You know, we're so glad that we started out as a Southern labor union in Atlanta, and we're preserving all of our history with the help of you and Georgia State University. Thank you.
Thank you.
So what do you think? about the Southern Labor Collection at Georgia State University. Activate your voice right here on this video, no matter which social media platform you are watching. We'd love to hear from our viewers. So we are supposed to have Walt next up to talk about Union Sportsmans Alliance, and we are having some connection issues. So we've connected with him, we've disconnected and tried to get it. I'm going to look over at Joe and see if there's anything there. So we're going to do labor history right now and just jump ahead a little bit, and maybe we can get Walt back because he's got some great information on activities for the Union Sportsmans Alliance. So here's a look back at this week in labor history. On February 26, 2004, United Food and Commercial Workers reached an agreement with employers to end a nearly 5-month grocery strike and lockout of 59,000 workers in Southern California. Management wanted to strip workers of health care benefits. Sound familiar? A new 2-year contract required employees to pay for their health care benefits for the first time, and they received no raises. New hires were paid less, and they were in a different health care plan. That information comes to us from Sandelli Grace, which is a labor firm that works with a lot of unions, and they keep track of history as well. Also on February 28th, 1918, the International Association of Firefighters was founded. So we would like to wish a happy early birthday to the firefighters. And we got this information from the American Postal Workers Union, who also keeps track of a lot of labor history. You caught me wiping my eye there. Well, machinist union members can take classes at the Wimpesinger Education and Technology Center in Hollywood, Maryland, and we always like to keep you up to date on upcoming classes, so here are some deadlines. Human Rights Program, that deadline's March 2nd. The Intermediate Web Development registrations are due March 6th. The Financial Officers Program deadline is March 23rd. If you would like to be part of the Retirees Assistance Program, that deadline is April 6th. And April 10th is the deadline for basic communicators. April 13th is the deadline for the Women's Advanced Program. We are going to go to our list of machinist state councils. That's the Iowa State Council meeting in Altoona, February 29th to March 1st. Washington State Council meets in Olympia, March 2nd to the 4th, and the Massachusetts State Council meets in Dorchester, March 21st. Arizona State Council meets in Tucson, March 28th. And our next guest is from Union Sportsmans Alliance, a conservation group that many of our members belong to. Walt Ingram is Director of Union Relations, and he joins us now. We're so happy that we got this connection. Thanks, Walt.
Me too. Thank you. Thanks for your patience. I'm glad to be here.
No problem. I was so happy to see your picture pop up. So first tell us, how did the Union Sportsmans Alliance come about?
So some of the international union leaders were trying to find a way to connect on a lifestyle level with their members and get more members engaged around the things they had a passion about. And hunting and fishing in the outdoors is one of those passions that a large number of union members enjoy every day and every weekend with their family and friends. And what better way to connect with union members than through the outdoors? So Union Sportsman Alliance was formed in 2007. And the goal was to connect and engage union leaders and their members through conservation.
So what are some of the activities that take place?
Oh my, we do a ton of activities. We'd be here all day to talk about them. But no doubt our hallmark program is our Work Boots on the Ground program. That's where we connect union locals with the community through conservation. And we do all kinds of projects. As you see there, you see some of our Take Kids Fishing events and activities on the screen. We, in the last 2 years, have taken over 13,000 youth fishing. And they've all gone home with a fishing pole and a tackle box and gear, all compliments of Pure Fishing and Bash Pro Shops and our many sponsors. No doubt, organized labor loves to fish, and they love to introduce new people to fishing. And so we've done 24 of our fishing events are connected to infrastructure projects where we built the fishing access, provided the opportunity to fish, and then had a fishing day and Take Kids Fishing. A very popular program. one of our great activities.
How does that make you feel to know you're helping so many young people?
Well, it's a source of pride for me personally. I was raised hunting and fishing. The tradition was passed on to me through my family, but not every family has that opportunity. And so to be able to introduce young kids, youth, adults too, sometimes it's their moms and dads that have never fished before as well. But to have the opportunity to impact their life in a positive way, connect them with nature, connect them with conservation, and to do it through the Union family is just, it's wonderful.
We just saw a picture of Young Guns. Tell us a little bit about that.
So Young Guns is a mentoring program over in Maryland that Union Sportsman Alliance has partnered with the last couple of years to help. It is the largest youth mentoring program for deer hunting in America. And as I know, you know, it's hosted by some machinist members, some right out of the Solidarity House. So it's a great mentoring program. Gets a lot of kids out in the outdoors. They learn gun safety. They learn how to hunt. They learn how to deer hunt, and they have a great weekend. I think there are probably close to 200 kids in that photograph from the event we helped sponsor last year.
And a familiar face for us because we saw our IAM Communications Department office assistant, Terry Crutchfield, was there. So we're so happy to see her involved.
Yeah, she and her husband actually run that event, and I do mean run it. They do an excellent job. Hey, you know, Terry, you know that's fact. But they do a really wonderful event, attended very well. Like I said, it's the largest one in the nation for youth mentoring. We also do some events in other states. Well, we do one in Maryland there with the Blackwater Wildlife Area and the sick deer population. We do some mentoring hunts there. We partner with a group out of Kansas called Pass It On. We've done some mentoring projects with them in Kansas. So a lot of activities. Every time we do something in the community, we try to connect our kids to the community and conservation, and we do that an awful lot.
Yeah, I was going to ask you who you partnered with. What if someone would like to partner with you?
So we have a ton of partners, but I can't ever talk about partners in the Union Sportsman Alliance without talking about our founding partners, folks that have been with us since day one. Union Insurance Group, ULICO, Labor and Life Insurance Company, Bank of Labor, the Investment Trust Corp, and Buck Knives. They're our founding partners. They've been there since day one, support us with everything we do. But we could not do the number of projects and have the impact that we have across the country without other partners, other national partners like Provost and Humphrey, Bass Pro Shops, Remington, Carhartt, Pure Fishing. Big Pure Fishing helps us with all those fishing rolls that you see all the youth go home with. So partners, the difference. Will be as effective as we are at delivering mission all across this country. Our union partners, our charter unions, like too many to list. We have 18 charter unions. The machinists, I'm proud to say, are one of our charter unions. And the support that we get from our international health engaged members every day across America is significant. We couldn't do it without them.
You helped to fundraise. I just created a new word. You helped to fundraise for Guide Dogs of America. Tell us how you help locals.
So I am involved. I serve the machinist, by the way, and I serve the paid dog fundraising. Sportsmans has a great tool to help local lodges fundraise dogs. It's called the Partner Local program. And if you're looking for a way, you're in a local lodge and you're looking for a way to fundraise, you should partner with Union Alliance through our Partner Local program. Sam Phipps.
Okay, you're going in and out with the audio, so we're probably going to cut this a little bit shorter than we normally would, but we're going to put your membership levels up on the screen, and I'll see whether I can still hear Walt or not. I'm going to give him one more chance to just talk about the membership levels. It sounds like we can't hear him, but as you can see here on the screen, the charter member or partner is free.
If you're here today and you're
Nope, he's cutting in and out. Cutting in and out. Thank you, Walt, though, for joining us. The silver sponsor membership is $35. The gold sponsor membership is $75. We will also post a link in the comments for more information on how you can contact Union Sportsmen's Alliance. We are so thankful for Walt Ingram for taking the time to speak with us. You know how the internet goes. Sometimes our connections work and sometimes they don't. But thank you, Walt, and thank you, Union Sportsmen's Alliance, for joining us to give us some information today. Well, if you have any ideas for upcoming shows, please let us know. You can email us here at the Communications Department. You can talk to your territorial communications rep. All of the information is on our website, goiam.org. So I'm going to check with Joe, my sidekick here. He's good. I don't think I forgot anything. Next Wednesday, our guest is one of the New York yoga instructors and organizers who worked with the Machinist Union to form the first yoga teacher union in the country, in the United States. Well, that is it for this episode of Activate Live. Support your union siblings. Spread the word about this video to your local or district page. And thanks to all of you who already do. We'll see you next Wednesday.